By the end of December, if I release my report, the numbers of pastors that have been, eliminated, that their life have been taken because of either terrorist attacks or kidnapping and so on and so forth, I hope people will not argue because we have the records and we are keeping the records of every attack going on in Nigeria. Now, how many of you remember this Ekpa pastor that was kidnapped some days ago? The report reaching us is that the bandits have eliminated this man, this pastor. And you can see as it is trending on Nigerian internet space. Sahara reporters published it that breaking kidnapped Southern Kaduna Ekpa pastor Anthony Lamba dies in bandits' captivity. What a shame. What an insult. It's an insult to Christianity. It's a shame to Nigeria and the entire world that are not putting mouth on what is going on in Nigeria. It is a shame unto you people because more people are dying in Nigeria than any part of the world. What is this man's crime? Because he's pastoring in Nigeria. He's pastoring in part of the country where people don't tolerate them. The issue of Southern Kaduna is complicated. People have been killed. So many people have been erased in Southern Kaduna right from time. Now, amidst the trouble of the United States Senator Ted Cruz and others trying to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern when it comes to religion tolerance, you can see that these things are still happening. So, how will you convince the US that what they are saying in Nigeria is not true? When Rufai, former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, came on national television and Ted Cruz was watching him when he was saying Tinubu is paying bandits. Bandits are on the payroll. People are watching. Did Tinubu denied it? No. Babagati Ahmed, P2B's vice presidential candidate in 2023 election, came to Channels Television and now they complain that Tinubu's administration is now a policy for them to be paying terrorists. The US are watching. So try to defend what Rufai said before you start talking to Ted Cruz. Try to defend what Kunde Odawumi said, that these people want to Islamize Nigeria. Their target are Christians. This is #1 military intelligence officer in Nigeria. Try to defend it first before you attack a foreigner who gathered his intelligence through what the Nigerian government officials are saying. This is insane. Now, quickly let's respond to the article published by Sahara reporters today. Anyway, it is disheartening to see that this pastor really died. I reported it when he was kidnapped. It's unfortunate. Now, let us understand the details of this article. The Evangelical Church winning all ECWA has confirmed the death of one of its pastors, Reverend Anthony Lamba, who was abducted by bandits in Southern Kaduna. Now, if you are not in Nigeria, when you hear about bandits, it means terrorists. They call them bandits, but they are terrorists, okay? It's a group of terrorists in Nigeria. In a statement signed by Reverend Andari, chairman of ECWA, Kasunwa, Magane District Church Council, DCC, the church expressed grief over the development, saying, with deep sorrow, we announce the passing of Reverend Anthony Lamba, who was kidnapped on July 24, 2025, along with his wife. Why his wife was later released after paying a ransom of 5 million naira, which is about $2,500, and then later demanded a motorcycle. Reverend Anthony remained in captivity. Sadly, while arrangements were being made to deliver the motorcycle, that is the motorcycle they needed for ransom of the pastor, he fell seriously ill and passed away in the camp in captivity. So he fell ill, he died. That is the story the terrorists told them. But that is not true. I feel that this man was eliminated. Now, a memorial service in his honor will be held at his hometown, Kanu, on Sunday, October 19, 2025. This is the result of Nigeria. This is what we gain as citizens in Nigeria. The government won't take responsibility of all these things. Nobody will talk about it. Even when 30, 40, 50 people die, Nigerian government will never talk about it. This is insane. We are living in a crazy world. A very crazy world. What is going on? And if you talk, see, if it will take US doing this to stop or to help minimize these terrorists, let them go on to do it. Me, I'm tired of all this rubbish. As insecurity, conflict reporter, I have seen enough. I have heard enough. Every now and then, reports coming left and right. Why you choose to report? You can't even report what is going on in Nigeria a day. I am not talking of every other thing. I'm talking about only the insecurity. And this insecurity, I only focus on killings. It doesn't make sense. Now, the church says, let us continue to pray for the Church of God and the family he left behind. The statement added, Lamba was reportedly kidnapped along with Christiana Anthony and Danlami Zana while working on their farm on Friday, July 25. In a similar incident, Sarah reporters reported on Thursday, October 2nd, that terrorists ravaging communities in Kwara State had brutally killed Reverend James Audu Issa, an ECWA pastor again, despite collecting millions of naira from his distressed family in ransom. The cleric was abducted from Ekati village in the Partiji local government area around August 28, 2025. So, just about 3 weeks, you have seen that almost 5 pastors have been killed. You people should look into this. Stop abusing the US for what they are saying. Stop abusing the US. Who is sponsoring these people? Who imported these people into the country? The same politicians imported them. The same politicians imported these people. Nobody wants to say the truth. Nobody wants to talk about what is going on. And you want people to continue to believe this bullshit? No. We can't continue to believe that we are talking about what we know. This is a terrorism, a targeted terrorism. It is being targeted on some people. If you said, oh, it's not being targeted on some people, tell me why politicians imported these terrorists. They said they imported it because of election. They confessed with their mouth that they imported it because of election. Those people who imported it, have they been arrested? Have they been arrested? Why shading people who imported the terrorists that have killed almost a million people? Why shading them? And you want the US, to back down on what they are saying? We need justice. There won't be peace without justice. There won't be unity without justice. That is why in everything they are talking about, you see that justice comes first. You imported terrorists to kill us, and you're expecting that people should. I don't just get it. So this is the situation right there. Last 2 weeks, that was last week, a pastor died, and today another one died. So I don't just understand all these things.
Listen to this.
I've served the military intelligence for the past 35 years. It has always been the case. Our problem is religion and social-cultural. People will expect me to come here and start talking about kinetics, about operation and so on. I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yaradua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. Okay. And the arguments were 3. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if we go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lanshakin asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Lanshakin that if I tell you the answer, you are not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yep. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who?
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians, tried them, we know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware, and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Lanshakin, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah, Commodore.
So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blames. The blames are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blames are equipments that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations that they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to. No.
Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. Since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. And some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence report and say this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
I'm sorry, is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church, you cannot be higher than your pastor. Okay. Spiritually, you can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Okay. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments. So